Hey guys, Raj here. I hope everyone is doing well. Tonight I'm going to be doing a review on a fragrance from the house of Hermes and specifically from their Le Jardin series. This one is called Un Jardin Apres La Mousson, which means a garden after the monsoon. So this is a Jean-Claude Eleanor composition inspired by the smell of it doesn't specifically say, but presumably like a garden or like a rainforest in India after the monsoon rains. So I've been to India in the monsoon season, not in like a rainforest or like a massive garden or anything like that, but I do know the rains are really heavy and have been caught up in it a couple of times. So yeah, so this fragrance is quite an artistic fragrance. Um, it's quite a light, transparent fragrance, one that's to be worn, I think in kind of like spring and summertime. It feels quite casual to me. You could wear it to work quite easily when things start to warm up slightly. Notes for this one are, there's no like pyramid structure here, but it says notes of ginger, cardamom, coriander, pepper, and vetiver. So this is one fragrance of maybe about four or five in the Jardin series. And as I said, it's quite a light fragrance. It opens up with a very watery, mildly spicy cucumber note, which is nice. It's different. It's quite kind of a vegetal fragrance. It's a little bit sweet as well. I've heard many people mention this cucumber note, and it's quite realistic actually. If you ever have smelt the juice of a cucumber, imagine that. All the flesh taken out, all the juices just pressed together, and what you're left with is a kind of watery, almost aloe vera type scent, and mixed in with a cucumber watery accord. So it's quite different. You've also got a little bit of this vetiver note, which is it's quite subtle, but it's quite earthy at the same time. And there's kind of like a wet, earthy accord in here, almost like a galbanum feeling, like a very green, quite heavy greenness that's in this fragrance. Also, what you get is not really loud spices, but kind of mild, dry spices just in the background. Mainly, the two main accords really are this cucumber, hints of vetiver, but also a very, very sweet white musk that just pervades the entire fragrance and just brings everything together. That pretty much is the fragrance right there. I mean, I could dig my nose into my hand and try and pick out every single note, but those aren't the notes that are going to be jumping off your skin when you do this. And this is a fragrance that has decent staying power, about 4 or 5 hours, nothing loud. I don't really think it's supposed to be that type of fragrance. It's a casual fragrance, one to throw on when you're chilling out in the garden on a Sunday afternoon, that kind of thing, really. It's a good fragrance, it has decent performance, doesn't really jump off the skin, it's quite close to the skin. You could obviously spray it much more and it will be a little bit louder. And yeah, nothing much more to say on this fragrance. Well done. A typical Jean-Claude Eleanor style. If that's your thing, this kind of transparent, watery thing, definitely worth checking out this fragrance. For me, I think there are better ones in the Le Jardin series, and there's also a new one which I want to try out. It's called Le Jardin Monsieur Lee or something like that. So I want to try that one a little bit more. I've tested it on paper. It seemed quite interesting. So yeah, good notes, good ingredients used in this line. It's not a line that blows me away, but it's more of an artistic thing. And it reminds me of like a painting hanging on the wall, which you go in and look at it in a museum or gallery or something. And you see it and you think, that looks quite good, but do I want that hanging in my house? And I would have to say in this case, probably no. This is a fragrance I like. I'm glad I got a sample. I'm glad I tested it. But do I want this scent on my skin for the amount of time that it lasts? Probably not, to be honest. But that's not a bad thing. That's not to say that I dislike it. I just felt that it was more of a realistic, a kind of artistic, fragrance. It definitely did remind me of heavy rainfall on green leaves, really, and the earth and the soil soaking up that moisture. And if anybody here, so as you guys, if you've seen my latest videos, I'm in Morocco, I'm in Marrakesh, and in the hotel that I'm in, there's a lot of greenery, a lot of plants, big ones, lots of fruits, and it was raining the other day for a couple of hours, and I was just walking around the hotel, and there was a lot of these smells, not exactly like this, but it did remind me of this fragrance while I was wearing it actually, which is pretty cool. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Which one do you prefer in the Jardin series? I'm going to give this a rating of 7 out of 10. A good fragrance, just doesn't quite hit the spot for me, but it does it for you. And let me know your thoughts on this fragrance if you've tried it. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.